Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to the finale of Monster Hearts 2 Hidden Masters. Before we go round, let's do our social links there. We also have Patreon. We have some merch for you guys to look at, and also we have sponsors in Bird in the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press. Please go and check out all of those wonderful things. Check out all those links. If you're not part of the Discord, be part of it. If you haven't sent me a DM on Twitter yet to be like, hey, I want a game, why haven't you? And if you haven't gone to catch up on everything on YouTube, that's understandable. There's a lot of content there. Okay, that's fair. I'll let you have that one. It's probably about 500 hours at this point, actually. We racked that up quick. Yeah, sponsors as well. Go and check out their wonderful stuff. They have merch. I need to add the merch thing to the Mage Hand Press thing, actually, because they also have merch. But yeah, it's all good stuff. Lastly, there is a tweet today as well. Go and retweet the tweet to give us a plus or a -1 to the scene, which we will flip a coin for. Let's go around, shall we? Katie, oh hi.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am your MC, Master of Ceremonies for this. These lovely, how many sessions have we had? 8 or 9? They've been great, no matter how, I can't remember the number. I don't do numbers. So yeah, we're gonna go around, say who you are. I use she, her pronouns. So your pronouns, who you're playing, and what skin you're using. So we can start with Dingo.
Hello, I'm Dingo, and I play Claudia Harper, the Sasquatch playbook, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Meg.
I'm Meg. I play Quinn, who is the Fae, and we also both use she, her pronouns.
Alice.
Hello, I play Sandy. I'm the ghost. She, her pronouns, both.
And Scrat.
I'm Scraticus. You might know me from this channel and others. I play Elvis. And he, they is fine for both.
Okay, so we haven't played for 2 weeks, so this recap is going to be short and sweet because I can't remember, and I'm a bad MC who doesn't watch what I've done. Last time, I think Sandy was able to sort of have a conversation with Chloe about what had happened, this book that Chloe had that Sandy could not read, and when Sandy touched it, she got this sort of flashback to using the book back when she was alive. Claudia, no. Quinn talked to what is a figure known as Only Father in Radio, which is like the land of the Fae, the different plane that she's learned that she's from. Claudia went to find her. They managed to get back together after Quinn was sort of forced into her darkest self, which is a facet of Monster Hearts. You have a certain part of yourself that you become. And Quinn, in order to sort of continue on this plane, she's been forced into this anger that the father told her that Radio was all about justice and balancing the scales. That's what she needed to do. I can't remember anything else because I'm horrible. What else happened? What happened with Elvis? Do we remember any of that? I remember you woke up from a long, good nap.
I did
In
wake
the
up.
school.
Yeah, you got KFC.
We did get KFC, I remember that. Oh, we were gunning up! That's what we were doing. We were heading back to my shack and we were getting tooled up.
You all went back to Elvis's shack and got millions of Elvis's guns.
Buckets of guns.
Buckets and buckets of guns to go.
I got
in
my
the
crucifix shotgun, I'm ready.
Oh, yes, the sawn off. I have a sawn off.
Claudia went back home to talk to her father about what she was or is, and her father revealed that when she was a little girl, about 3 years old, she wandered out of the forest covered in hair.
Yeah, just a big hairy baby one.
Big hairy baby.
Just like hairy baby.
Makes perfect sense.
And her mother just basically fell in love with this little hairy baby, and that was the end of it. They never questioned what Claudia was, what she could do. It was sort of just left for Claudia to figure out herself. Found out that her father knew about the werewolves, that it was sort of a Leafside secret. And then I think we ended. Well, there were some sweet conversations between Claudia and Quinn about what they were and the feelings they had, all with Elvis with his face pushed up against the window while it was happening. Just listening. And at the end, we got a phone call. Quinn got a phone call from her sister, basically asking for help. And right as they hung up, she got a picture, text message with a picture that was sort of her sister tied to the table in the chemistry lab where this all started back at school. So like many small towns, most secrets are known all around, but they're just kept quiet to not upset the decorum. Leafside is no different. We zoom in to a small family home, empty and desolate. There's no sign of ownership because of the layers of dust everywhere, except for there are a few markings on the wall. They read Sandy, age 5, Sandy, age 9, measuring how tall someone has grown over the years. But the measurements have faded with time. Then we see this woman with bottle blonde hair and bright makeup that opens up this locket that's around her neck and looks at a picture that's on the inside. It's a little boy with gray eyes and a ball cap that's way too big for him. He smiles in the picture with 2 missing front teeth and dirt streaked across his face. And then she dips into a motel room with a man who's much too handsy. Rosie's is busy. People are coming in and out, signaled by the loud bell above the door. The grill sizzle and pops in the back, and there's a man behind the counter who nervously checks the clock on the wall. He looks around, but he keeps a smile on his face as he rings up customers and talks shop with them. And at the school, an older girl lays near comatose on a table, surrounded by beakers and cylinders in the chemistry lab. While in the distance, someone paces, footsteps back and forth, only sound. She looks impossibly young in this position, despite her age. Her blonde hair is matted with sweat and her face is tear-stained. And she opens her mouth to speak, but no sound leaves. And her eyes dart back and forth, side to side, and shadows begin to creep alongside the table, up onto her body, wrapping tighter and tighter. And then we zoom in on you 4. What are you doing?
So are we still at Elvis's shack, effectively?
You're still at Elvis's shack. The woods are creaking around you, you know, and it's still early in the morning. It's probably around, I don't know if I set a time. You guys had basically woke up, went and got KFC, came here. Claudia had left. Claudia made her way back. So it's probably like 1 in the afternoon. The sun's still high in the sky, but there's a light mist around as, you know, the rain is threatening to pour.
And Sandy sort of just like to Elvis, can I have this one? Like just pointing at any gun. She doesn't know guns, but she's just pointing at probably a sawn-off or something like that.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Now that one fires shells. They're over there in the cabinet.
That cabinet?
Yeah, that one over there. There's a big old tub of them.
Right, okay. Okay. And she sort of heads over and she'll just start filling her pockets, anything, just... Yeah.
Around this time, Claudia, you've definitely made your way back.
Yeah, I think she's kind of standing in the doorway, kind of letting the mist hit her. And she's looking around in Elvis's shack. Well, it's a lot tidier than I thought it would be in here.
Well, it might not be too clean, but I find organization helps you get your guns ready faster. So I keeps all my guns in cabinets in the right drawers and keep all the shotguns above the shelves there and all that sort of thing. Just makes it easier to keep track of how much I got.
I suppose that makes sense. What do I take? Sandy, what do you have?
He's like, I don't really know. I'm kind of just grabbing and going for it. And, you know, at the end of the day, and she just sort of taps, like, the axe with her foot, which she's got in her hand, in her left hand. It's like, I think I just prefer this anyway.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
if you like, Claudia, I mean, sometimes I know guns can... I can stick with the guns if you like. Well, I got over here, I got this crossbow. Now, it fires wooden bolts.
All right. She kind of walks up and takes it in her hands. I can't say I've fired anything before. It's not even a crossbow, but I guess I can try. She's kind of trying to pull the string up to the notch.
Oh, hang on. It'll be on the shelf just behind it. There's a ratchet that you can use to draw the string back for you.
Oh, neat. She's pulling it out and gearing up and grabbing wooden bolts. And then she turns to everyone else. Do we have a plan yet? Did you magically come up with a plan while I was gone?
Quinn is still kind of like looking down at her phone in shock, and she says, well, it looks like he has my sister in the chemistry lab at the school. Just kind of very flat.
Weren't we gonna baptize him in the bathtub at the church?
I forgot about that. Sorry.
We considered it.
We gotta get him there.
I don't know how we would get him there.
Yeah.
Especially if he has Chloe, and of course he's back in the chemistry room. Everything always comes full circle with these things.
I mean, no offense, but we've got Quinn.
I know.
I'm not saying we let him have her. I'm saying we let him know we have her.
Make him come to us?
Well, yeah, meet us at the church.
So, church, and then go to the school to free Chloe, maybe? Or just go to the chemistry lab. Those sound like our options.
We could fill the school sprinklers with holy water.
Do we know anyone who can bless water?
I figure you just borrow it from the church.
I don't
It's
think you
free,
can
right?
borrow holy water, but okay, I get where you're going.
How else
Yeah,
are you supposed to get it?
crystals, like, and she sort of just started looking around, like, do we have any like super soakers or anything? Is that a thing? I think I saw it.
No, I made all my money through hunting. I could never find a job in town, so I just kept buying more and more hunting stuff.
Oh, that explains a lot.
As like he's putting on like jewel holsters on his hip, he's strapping guns to his thigh, he's got a bandolier on, shotgun over one shoulder and assault rifle over the other. He's like, yeah, I just kept on buying more and more stuff out of this army magazine.
He didn't ID him or anything.
No, I made a real good deal with the guy. I showed him where Frank's liquor store is, and it all went swell from there.
I love America.
All right. Well, first of all, I don't see why you can't borrow holy water from a church, but I think either one of those is gonna work. I don't know what we're gonna do from there other than keep killing him till we figure out a way to actually kill him. I guess it's up to you, Quinn.
And Quinn just kind of like, she, at some point, even though she knows that she's like the bait rather than anyone attacking, she still grabbed kind of like a knife to defend herself, and she's kind of holding it in her hands and like messing around with it a little bit. And she says, we can't guarantee that the holy water would do anything to Francis, so our biggest clue is me, so we may as well just go to the chemistry lab.
All right. Chemistry lab it is.
So then we get him to feel some pain at the point of the knife and then take him to church.
Yes, Elvis, that's exactly what we do.
That's right, I heard the song. I know it.
Oh God. Yeah. Do you load up in Claudia's truck again? And you're heading toward the school? Is that the plan?
Might as well.
If no one else objects.
Vest full of bullets and one, for some reason, fishing hook.
Just one.
Just one. Just in case.
Very specific.
So you all load up in the truck, and Claudia, you take the familiar road out of the forest where Elvis lives, and you head toward the school. And as you do, you notice that the rain begins to fall heavier than it was before, and less of a mist and more of a solid rain now. You have to turn the windshield wipers on. And you park near the science building at the high school. And I think even as you're just sitting there, the clouds above, the dark clouds sort of begin to coalesce above, focused on this area that you're all in. And it just, the world around you just seems to get darker. It just does not, it was misty when you were leaving, but it's just gotten impossibly dark in this about 30-minute drive that you've had back to the school. And the rain is picking up with the wind. It's howling around you as you all sit in the truck. As lightning strikes, you swear you can see this dark figure in the sky that just seems to be looming over all of you above the school.
Claudia sits there for a moment and she's gripping the steering wheel and kind of like pushing on it. And I don't like the look of any of this, guys. I hate this.
Yep.
It's just gonna keep coming back over and over until we take care of it.
I mean, I already killed it twice. I mean, we can kill it real good. We could just maybe we can be like, the Ghostbusters, and we can just kill it all the time, keep it contained, rather than actually solving the problem. People could pay us money.
How do you want to keep him contained?
Or we just keep on finding him and killing him, and then people give us money to keep him dead.
I don't know if that's a strong business plan, Elvis. It's a good idea, like, as she sees him get, like, alert. She's like, it's a great idea. I mean, this is a small town. They're gonna run out of money.
Well, I guess that's true. Maybe we can convince him to go upstate someplace where they need a hunter. Because, I know everyone around here is packing, so they're probably just shooting themselves.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. All right. Do we want to... Sandy, do you maybe...
I can go first. Hold these for me, because otherwise they're just going to fall off me. And she just sort of puts down the shotgun and the axe. And if she could have found a stick, that would have been great.
She's really good with sticks.
Make Elvis go
Good.
fetch.
I was on the fencing team, okay? Like, and I'll walk over. I'll get out the car. I probably look like I'm getting wet from the rain, but she doesn't feel it.
Yeah.
And she walks towards the school.
You all see as Sandy sort of, she doesn't disappear, but you see as her image, you know, her visage begins to sort of blend in with the way the rain is pouring. She sort of becomes the rain as she walks toward the school. Are the rest of you staying in the car, or are you following?
Quinn would actually probably get out and follow her. She's just ready to go.
And you're just letting Sandy like get the lead per se?
Yeah.
But you're following, okay. What about Claudia and Elvis?
Well, I don't know. Do you think we should like give him a bit of a lead and then follow in with like all guns blazing, or how's this gonna work?
Yeah. We'll let him go in first, and then we'll peek in the window. And when the time is right, we'll go in guns blazing.
Sounds good.
As you're having this conversation, Elvis, you just happen to look out the side of your eye and you see the image of that same ghostly woman who seems to have been following you lately. She's sitting there, blonde hair is down to her shoulders, very mouthy. She's a very plain looking girl. I can't really define her much more than that. And she looks over at you and she has just this smile on her face. And you don't see her, Claudia. This Elvis, just sitting beside Elvis. She's just sitting there very calmly and gives you this smile. And she says, she has to bind him here, or he'll just keep coming back.
Who does, Claudia?
What
The-
now?
Hang on a minute, I'll explain later.
No, the one that he's after. Only she can keep him here.
Well, I've been seeing things these last few days, Claudia. There's been some sort of ghostly apparition, what with pretty blonde hair, following me about the woods, and she's sitting there right now, and she's saying that Quinn has to bind him here, otherwise he'll just keep on coming back.
Are you saying there's a ghost in my truck? Right now? Right next to you?
Well,
Why can you see her? Why can't I see her? This is my truck.
I'm not much of a ghostologist. I don't have many ologies at all, to be honest. But maybe it's a werewolf thing.
No, and you hear Elvis, you go, no, I just like you.
You just like me? Why?
I mean, sure, I like you well enough, Elvis.
You do?
Well, sure.
Gosh, this is just a truck of love right now. Everyone's saying they like me.
No, I mean, I don't mean
were
it
you
like
talking
that.
about-
You can't both talk at once. It's confusing.
She's like genuinely laughing under her breath, and she looks over. She says, "No, you seem like like you're the kind of person who can get things done and doesn't like bullies, and that's what Francis is."
Francis get you?
Yeah, Francis got me.
Yeah, Francis got her. Apparently she only appears to me because she likes me. I don't know what you did to wrong her.
Yeah, I don't know what I did either. Sorry, whatever I did. Also, hello, welcome to the truck.
She like leans over to you, Elvis. Tell her I like her hair.
She likes your hair.
Oh, thanks. I grew it myself. Okay, so binding. What does that mean? How do you? Do we just have to tie him up, or is that some
Drugs.
kind of?
Drugs?
No, she shrugs.
Oh, right, shrugs.
When you said drugs, I was like,
So shrugs.
Shit, all this time tooling up, we should have been starting a meth lab.
chemistry lab.
She shrugs. She just shrugged at me. She didn't say nothing. Why don't you appear to Claudia as well? That'd make this... I'm sort of a middleman right here.
She looks at Elvis and she sort of gets sad for a minute.
Oh, I didn't mean to upset you.
Have that much power left. I'm sort of fading.
Oh, Claudia, so sad. She's fading. She says she don't have much power, so she can't show herself to too many people.
Oh, okay. Okay. That is sad. Oh,
I knew Sandy. Back
You knew
when this all
Sandy?
happened.
Well, Sandy's a ghost too. Why didn't you have a chat with her?
wait a minute. Elvis, did you ask this ghost their name?
I haven't asked this ghost her name. Excuse me, Mrs. Ghost that likes me. What's your name?
Lily, Anthony.
Lily Anthony. Do you know
I
that?
was a student with Chloe and Sandy and Francis.
Oh shit, you must have been in like the year above me the first time I was at school.
I don't really remember you. Sorry. Things
That-
get really fuzzy when
That's alright, I was mostly arrested.
How do you get mostly arrested?
Well, they put you in the cell, but they're real nice about it because they're understanding. It's awfully confusing as a growing up person.
Gotcha.
They're like, well, you done fucked up, Elvis, but we understand. We gotta keep you in anyway, and you're just like, well, shit.
I guess they're understanding, but they're not too understanding. All right. Should we? Okay. Maybe this has something to do with the book that Sandy found. Maybe there's something about a binding in there that tells us how to do it. I'm a little worried about going in guns blazing now, Elvis. I'll tell you what. Starting to feel like maybe we didn't really have a solid plan going into this.
I told you we should have gone to the church. You can definitely do a binding there. People go to church once, they go all their lives, I'm told.
Lily just shakes her head and she says, "No, you're on the right path."
All right. So, maybe then we need to go catch up with Sandy and Quinn.
Do you know anything about this here book, Lily?
Do we still have the book?
Oh, well, no, I meant this here book. Like, you know, the book you're talking about.
No, if you're asking me that, Dingo, I think you guys took it with you into the auditorium where you slept. So I would assume you would take it back with you when you left. It just matters when if Quinn or Sandy, basically Sandy couldn't carry it, but Quinn left it in the truck. Do you think Quinn would have left it behind?
Yeah, I think she actually would have left it in the truck because she would have been worried what would happen if Francis got a hold of it.
Okay. Lily, when you ask about the book, Lily, sort of says, that's how they got him, the demon, in the first place. There'll be a way to get rid of him in there, I'm sure. I don't remember a lot. I just wanted to help as much as I could. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's understandable. It's nice of you to come and try and help us. I'm real sorry that you're fading, otherwise we could have hung out.
I mean, that probably would have been fun. Better than hanging out with Francis because, you know, he's the reason I'm dead. But...
Shit, this feels like a real life lesson, you know? Time is short, make the most of it. Hell, damn.
You just went through a lot of emotions there, didn't you?
I did. You're dropping it, you're laying it on me thick there, Lily.
The way you say Lily.
I just don't... He can be killed. all of us can be killed. Even Sandy and I can be killed.
But she's all. Oh wait, I can't hear this.
You can't hear this.
I mean, you just hear the one side.
It's just Elvis having a conversation with a empty space.
I feel real bad. This is
Awkwardly sitting.
this is like the worst third wheel situation. I just realized that Claudia can't hear what she's saying. Claudia, essentially, no, it's okay. It's important information. It's important. Apparently, we can kill him. It's a lot like. It's probably going to be in the book where they found him, because apparently the book's how they got him here in the first place. So maybe if we find something in the book about, I don't know, demon bondage, we'll be alright.
Remember, in the end, Francis might have this power, but he's still human at his very core.
He's still human at the power core.
At the power core?
No, Elvis at the very core of his being.
Oh, he's still a human at his very core.
Right, like all the guts and stuff. All right.
I guess.
Okay.
And Quinn's the only one who can bind him.
How do you know that Quinn's the only one that can bind him? Why can't I bind him? I can read good enough.
Because it was Chloe that promised Quinn to the demon.
Alright. It's gotta be Quinn that's gotta do it.
Okay, then we just need to buy Quinn time to figure it out. And she probably needs the book. And we probably shouldn't be sitting here anymore, Elvis.
Alright, now Lily...
No offense to your ghost friend.
That's okay. Lily, I hope you don't mind if we go and get into action. I hate to be rude, but you were just telling me how time is short, and so now we gotta go and do something. I mean, I won't be surprised if by the end of this I don't get rested again, but in the meantime, we need to go help.
Yeah, you probably should. I'll try to help if I can, but I don't know how much I'll have left of me.
Alright, well, you don't have to make yourself visible to me right now. You can save it if you like.
Okay. And she disappears.
Alright, she's gone now, Claudia.
How do you know that? What if you just can't see her? Maybe she's still here.
Well, I mean, she might still be here. Let's assume that she could probably hear us, but she's not visible and talking to me right now so that we can get on with things.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Claudia's hopping out of the truck, and as she does, she's going to take out her phone, and she's going to shoot off a text to June. Could use backup at the school just in case. Science building.
What are you taking with you?
I'm taking the crossbow. I'm taking anything I can with me. The crossbow, the book, the baseball bat. Probably we probably got more guns in the truck. We probably just filled the truck with guns. So I don't know.
Swimming in them. Just swimming in guns and bullets.
Swimming in guns.
Yep. Well, I know I've got 4 9mm on my legs, 2 at my hip, a sawn off over here and a sawn off over here. I got the crucifix gun here.
I really want art of Elvis just loaded to the max with weapons.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
I'm real excited to try out the M16. I ain't never used this.
It's with a ball cap on, ready to go. Sandy, as you walked ahead, I think you could hear someone getting out to follow you, but you just didn't really know who it was. Where are you heading into?
She's probably just heading straight to the main science door towards the labs. And she will probably check back and look to see who is following her. And if she sees Quinn, she'll be like, just stay that little bit behind me.
And Quinn nods.
Because Sandy hasn't heard the conversation of she could die. In her head, it's Quinn could.
Of course. Sandy, you go to the door. It's sort of these big metal double doors that open into this building. And do you go incorporeal through them?
She will to begin with, yeah. probably again just poke her head through so she can look.
Yeah, and you look in and it's darkened hallways because this is still summer. They're the schedule has been sort of messed up this whole week with Morgan dying. And also, Tyler, you had 2 students that had passed away. This week of school has been sort of thrown off. You stick your head through and it's just a dark hallway. The shadows seem bigger. You're not sure if it's because of the weather. Every now and then lightning strikes and you see it bounce off the linoleum and the metal lockers inside of this long hallway. And you know that down the hallway is the chemistry lab, but you don't hear anything. You don't see any like moving shadows. You don't see anyone, walking around. You just see the shadows of the lockers and the water fountain,
She'll probably look back briefly at Quinn. Like, I'm gonna go and have a look. If you could, like, get my axe. And she just sort of like goes back and just steps through the door as a whole.
And you notice that the door's unlocked. Usually at the end of the day, there's a latch that's put down at the top of the door to keep it from opening up, being able to push it open. It's not latched. It's wide open.
And she'll open the door to Quinn and be like, I forget you can't just go through, sorry. And sort of open the door and then disappear back down the corridor.
Quinn will follow through. And Sandy asked for her axe. Was that still in the truck?
Yeah, that was left with Claudia.
Okay. In that case, actually, Quinn will probably be like, I'll be right back, and turn around to run back to where Claudia and Elvis are.
Yeah, as you turn around and go back and, back toward the parking lot, we'll say it's a little bit of a walk just to make up for timey-wimey stuff. or that Sandy was, checking very carefully just to make up for the time. Sandy, you go into the school. Are you heading down the hallway? You're just carefully checking?
Yeah, she's sort of just walking down the hallway. She's not, like, trying to be stealthy or anything. She's just walking. And looking into each room.
Yeah, as you go through these classrooms, some of the doors are open. They had probably been left open by cleaning staff. Some of them are closed. You can't really see through the little window in the door. They're one-way windows that you can see out of. You can't see in through the hallway. But you can't see, well enough that through these like windows you can see motion behind them. You can't see any movement as you're walking down, and as you turn the corner and the chemistry lab is in sight, you get that awful gut feeling, the flashback to when this sort of all started earlier this week, of seeing the flames sort of attack, finding your body above the chemistry lab. You begin to have these awful flashbacks. They're just very quick in sequence of a night very similar to this and an emptiness that follows. And you get the sense that this is strangely similar to the night when you died. And as you approach the chemistry lab, you can see from out in the hallway, you can see the shadow of someone pacing slowly back and forth, and you can see sort of candlelight flickering from inside. And that's when the lights in the school, the ones that were barely lit, a pop of lightning flashes and the lights go out.
She sort of just looks around, is like, okay, it's the perfect setting for this. And she'll start to walk into the chemistry lab. And we'll probably just be like, Francis, you in here?
As you say that, you do see, in fact, Francis with his back toward you. He's staring toward like the long window in the chemistry lab, and Chloe is sort of in the back corner area on one of the lab tables, and you just hear Francis scoff. And he just, it's about time you showed up. You were always late.
Are you kidding me? I got all the time in the world now.
And as he turns around, he has sort of this sick smirk on his lips. And you notice, Sandy, now Francis is covered with all of those tally marks on his face. He wears a suit, but as he turns around and sort of adjusts his cufflinks, you can see his palms are also covered in them. His face is covered in them, just like the other bodies that you had found in your body was.
What is this, Francis? What is this? And she just sort of gestures to all of him.
He looks at you and just raises an eyebrow, and he says, I'm getting the power that I was due.
Yeah, you're not making this very clear. What is this? What are these markings? Why are you still hanging out in school? Have you not grown up yet?
Don't you remember anything, Sandy?
No, not at all.
I guess that's the problem with being dead.
Tell me about it.
He walks forward and stops short in the middle of the lab, and you notice that he pulls from behind his back a book it's not the same that you had found, but it's very similar. It has that kind of old tome-like quality, you know? It's a little smaller, though. And he says, that one over there, and he points over at Chloe, made a promise to the demon that we summoned, and I'm going to fulfill it so I can reap the benefits. Not my fault that you and Lily were too weak to handle it.
And she stares at him for a moment and says, true, yeah, we didn't survive, but why?
Doesn't everyone want power?
Oh, wow, you've really lived in a small town for a long time. How many books have you read? Is it just the ones with the bad guys that just take over the world? Branch out. There's a lot more.
Well, I'm the one that's still alive, Sandy. I don't really think you have much to judge.
Alive with a demon inside you, tying up girls in a chemistry lab.
Everyone has their hobbies.
Aspirations. Yeah.
As you're having this conversation, Quinn, you're heading back to the truck, and I think you're meeting halfway at Elvis and Claudia going to meet you.
Well, hey, we found her.
Yeah, Sandy's already in there. She wanted me to grab her axe.
All right.
Right.
Do you guys have it?
Shit, that's the only thing I didn't pick up.
Claudia's gonna grab it from behind her and kind of heave it over to Quinn.
And
Okay.
she reaches out and like grabs the handle in her hands and is like, okay, we should try to catch up with her. She looked a little nervous about something.
Okay, wait though. And she's gonna swing
Yeah.
her book bag and open it up and pull out the book. You have to look for something about a binding. You have to bind him. I don't know what that means, but Elvis's ghost girlfriend said that you have to do a binding or something.
Okay,
There was a
well,
ghost that liked me, Quinn. She told me that you had to do some demon binding.
Quinn just kind of like stares very levelly at you for a second and then it's like, I'm not gonna ask. This is already weird enough. And she kind of like, I don't know, like shrugs over the hatchet and opens the book and is like, well, I don't know how much this is gonna work because I've already looked through this thing a couple times to see if I could get more information, but maybe if I look for binding rather than just generic stuff about the demon, it can work. And she'll kind of flip through it looking for information on how to do a binding.
I want you to roll dark to gaze into the abyss.
Okay.
Also, we've hit 10 retweets, so we're going to have a plus or minus to one of the scenes.
Oh, cool. I should go ahead and do that. Oh,
God, this thing hates me.
4.
So I failed.
So Scrat is going to be for you. I wish I could remember. 1 is plus, 2 is minus. I think every time I've rolled to give you guys plus or minus, it's been minus.
It's been minus every
It's
time.
been minus every single time. So yeah, your next scene, it'll be or as long as this continues, it'll be a minus to your any rolls you make. But it's good. No, for Elvis, not for you. You're good.
Okay.
For me? Okay.
You don't find anything, Quinn, through this book. You can read it still, because everyone else couldn't read it. It was in some archaic language, not Latin. You couldn't really place if it was Sumerian. You didn't know what kind of language it was in. But you could read it, even though everyone else saw it in this other language.
Right.
And as you're looking through it, I think you're getting a little overwhelmed because the words begin to change. You begin to see over and over mixed into these passages that you can't even begin to understand. The word help hidden in these passages just over and over again. Every page you flip, you see some form of the word help.
So Quinn kind of shuts the book and suddenly and is like, well, I don't know how to explain this. I couldn't find any information on doing a binding, but it almost sounded like the book was asking for help, or like someone was asking for help through the book. I don't know. I just kept seeing that word over and over.
Who did this book belong to?
June gave it to me, I think.
No, this was the one that y'all got from Chloe.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, Chloe gave it to me. My bad.
Did it look like her handwriting?
Ooh, no.
It's in the text. It's words in the text.
Yeah, it's
That's-
words in the text over and over.
It seems mighty odd.
I don't know, I know no one else but me can read it, but does anyone else want to flip through it and see if they can...
Here, hand it over.
I'll look over your shoulder if you don't mind. And Elvis is just going to stare at the book.
Claudia, give me a dark roll. I'll let you guys into the abyss, because you're trying to understand this book.
Okay.
You've got thingies. You can use them. It's the last session.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
don't know how. I'm not looking at the overlays. I don't know what you guys have, but if you got them, use them.
Okay, yeah, I have some critical successes, I think. So I want to use my critical
You do.
success.
You have 4, so we'll drop that down to 3.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, you look through this book and you still don't know what it's saying. There's still a lot of passages that are in different languages to you, or a totally different language to you. There's no English whatsoever. But you do see a word over and over again. You see the word radia, sort of blending in with this archaic text. That's the one word that you can pick out.
Radia. Quinn, that's where you took me, right?
Yeah, that's the place that Father's from. And all the other Fae, I guess. And me. But,
It's
I could
over.
I could hear most of that when we were in the truck, by the way. You two are real cute.
Quinn gets really flustered.
Thanks. We're doing our best, I think. Thanks, Elvis.
You can call me an ally. I'm in support of your relationship.
Yeah, Claudia is staring and her whole body is going like red.
Oh my god.
Oh, are you embarrassed? I can turn my back if you want to smooch or something.
Elvis, read the room. Maybe it's better if you do turn around, Elvis. Just give us a quick second. We're gonna do a quick smooch. So if you,
Are-
but I'm really
oh.
shy about it. Can you just turn around?
I understand. I'll turn my back.
Okay. Claudia leans over to Quinn and points out where it says radio over and over.
While she's doing that and we're kind of like looking over the book next to each other, Quinn's actually going to reach over and like gently take her chin and turn her face to it and actually kiss her. And then she shrugs and is like,
Roll plot to turn someone on.
Elvis peaks.
Oh my god. Oh. Hot
Nice.
damn. Yeah, so on a 10, you get a string on Claudia.
nice.
And you get to choose one of the reactions, Claudia. You give yourself to them, promise something you think they want, or you get embarrassed and act awkward.
Yeah, I think Claudia freezes up for a second, and after that, she kind of pulls away, and then looks at you. What was that for? I thought you were mad at me.
Why would I be mad at you?
You know what? I don't even remember anymore. Let's forget about it. And she leans forward and she gives you another quick smooch. And then she kind of says, "Okay, but really though, Quinn, there's radios over and over and over in this book, and as much as I'd like to keep kissing you, I think we got to do something about this."
And Quinn kind of like shakes herself out of it and is like, "You're right. There's, I guess that's as good a hint as any that I just am the one who needs to take care of this. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I guess I'll figure it out."
What if you
And-
go back to radio? What if there's something there that can help you bind him, or you take him to radio? Or
If you want, you guys can stay here smooching, and I'll just go tell Sandy that she needs to take him to like your secret smooch hideout, wherever that is.
Is that also the church?
I mean, it could be the church. Is the church like an accent point?
I guess just something to keep in mind going forward.
Okay, I'll think about it.
And Claudia closes the book. I'm gonna keep it in my bag if you need it again.
Can I turn back round now?
Yes. Elvis.
Yeah, you can. And as Claudia's walking past Elvis, she's gonna go, "I already know you were peeking anyway."
He's got like the most smug like smile on his face.
As the three of you head toward the big metal doors, Claudia, you reach them first. Yeah, they're unlocked. And do you push forward inside?
I can't see in the window, can I?
So these are sort of those foggy school windows, that have the they're like bulletproof, so they have the lines on them. I can't remember.
Like the wire in the middle.
Yeah,
of
the wire in the middle of them. You can sort of see through, but it's dark. You don't see anyone moving. You just sort of see shadows, just less clear than what Sandy saw.
Elvis, you locked and loaded?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, Claudia's gonna grab the crossbow that Elvis gave her and swing the door open.
Yeah, you open the door up, and as you do, this really heavy whoosh of wind hits all of you from behind with a loud crack of thunder. But you look inside the hallway, and you know down a little bit off is the chemistry lab. But just as Sandy saw, you see shadows of the lockers, you know, the various things in the hallway. And you do notice that as you come in, that crack of light, that crack of thunder, lightning pops, and power goes out.
Quinn gets out her knife and goes, "Don't like that," and keeps walking forward.
Well, I knew I should have bought my head torch.
As you all walk in, Sandy, Francis is like looking at you very curiously, and he just smirks again and says, "I wonder if me ascending to power like I'm supposed to is going to mean that you don't stay here on this earth anymore."
Me?
I think you're muted.
You're muted.
Oh, Sandy.
So maybe it could happen. I mean, living in the same place, same rooms, a school no less, over and over again. I mean, and you'd be here.
He takes a step forward and says, "It ever made you wonder why you haven't crossed over?"
Gotta do something. Maybe, and she takes a step closer to him. Maybe I gotta sort you out first.
I think we all know what happens when someone tries to sort me out. I just come back. Sandy,
Yeah,
has it
that's
ever bothered you that no one mourned for you?
Well, they tried to do a rather nice sort of thing up on the teacher's board I saw, but it's been a while.
Even when it was new, no one seemed to care.
No, they didn't.
Wonder if that's why you weren't strong enough to handle everything like Chloe and I could.
I thought Lily was well liked.
No, she was boring, plain. Not like you.
Well, you had to summon a demon to get a personality, so like
Didn't
she's
summon him for the personality, of course.
you can see her visibly, like she's not happy, like she's not like upset, but she's struggling with this at the same time.
Yeah. You know, they said when we were researching which ones to summon. I'm so sorry about the traffic going by, if you can hear that. Apparently it's just loud truck night on my road. Sorry. When we were researching which demon to summon, it did say that only those who were worthy would be able to handle it. And when the fire consumed you and Lily, just
If
seemed
I'm
that big
not
of a deal.
worthy of that demon, I take it as a compliment.
Even though you lost your life and your
Yeah.
parents moved away.
Oh yeah. I get to keep friends. They might not see me all the time, but
Are they really your friends, Sandy? They grow older and leave.
new friends, people watching. I've always liked people watching. You know, because I'm lonely and don't have friends like that, how you said it. So I like to people watch.
It's a very sad existence, Sandy. Aren't you ready to move on?
If I'm honest, I'm not that bothered. I'm done with scavenger hunts, but at the same time, I kind of hope Elvis gets one right. I kind of want to see him pass. You know?
Yes, I believe that has more likelihood of happening than... Well, I don't know if that actually will happen.
It will.
And I think as you're saying that, the three of you are sort of rounding the corner to where you know the chemistry lab is. And unlike Sandy, you don't see, a movement of a shadow, but you can see the flickering of candle lights. And I think you can see the shadow of a person out in the hallway.
Wait, the person is in the hallway, or
No, like you can see the shadow. It's sort of reaching toward the hallway.
Oh, okay.
No, there's no one in the hallway. You guys are just by yourselves.
Yeah, I think Claudia's just gonna keep pushing forward towards the chemistry room.
Yeah, you walk in and you see toward the back Chloe still on the table, and you see Sandy and Francis standing nearly toe to toe, nose to nose in the middle of the room, in between two long tables. With there's no the chairs are up on top, the stools are up on top of the tables, but standing in between two rows of tables. And he looks over your shoulder, Sandy. He goes, "Oh, here are the friends that you talk about so much."
Sorry, were we interrupting something?
No, in fact, you came just in time.
I mean, I can turn my back again if we...
It's not like that, Elvis.
Do you even have any idea of what to do? Because and he looks at his watch on his wrist and says, "In about 5 minutes, your sister," and he looks straight at Quinn, "is going to be consumed in your place."
Just real quick, thank you very much, Rachel, for the raid. 45 raiders coming in. Oh, hi, everyone! The big finale. We're talking to the big bad evil guy. Sandy's snarky as hell. We're tooled up to fuck. But we don't think he can die, so it's a bit of a tricky one. Welcome!
And Quinn just kind of like glares at him and is like, "We're not letting you do this, Francis."
Why would you even take her? It's not gonna work.
Because he
That wasn't
doesn't
your
have
promise.
any other friends.
No,
Oh.
it's not that. And do you even know how to stop me? I feel like if you did, you would have done it a long time ago.
Sometimes it takes us a while to figure things out, but
Do I have permission to start shooting yet?
you have every permission to start shooting as soon as Sandy moves out of the way.
Don't worry, it goes straight through me. And she just goes completely, basically.
Well, this feels a little wrong, but, I'm gonna shoot him in the leg.
Yeah, roll to lash out physically. Roll volatile.
-1 because of,
Yes.
Aha, pop up. Any other modifiers, -1. That's a partial success.
Okay, so you do harm him, but you choose. They learn something about your true nature and gain a string. I decide how bad the harm actually turns out, or you become your darkest self. Finale.
Well,
Can a wolf use all those guns?
no,
Yeah.
probably, but maybe. Who knows? Well, first of all, I'm taking another string on him. What can I do with all these strings? I've got 3 strings on Francis at this point.
So when you pull a string, you can tempt them to do what you want. You can give them a condition. You can add one to your roll against them, or add one to the harm you deal them. But you have to do it preemptively. You have to tell me that you couldn't take that string and add the harm on him now, or something like that.
Got you. So I couldn't add an extra dash now or anything. No, I get you. All right. Well, he gets a string on me, and I'm. Let's see. I reveal something about myself, or what were the other things?
Give them a condition or tempt them to do what you want. If this is just for pulling strings. For the other one, for lash out physically, you still have to choose something for that as well. because you rolled a 9.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. It's like
Oh, so lash out physically, you they learn something about you and get a string on you. The MC decides how bad the harm turns out, or you become your darkest self.
I'm feeling real wolfy, everyone.
Okay.
Feeling what now?
I'm gonna start like
Sandy's like, move! Like, just starts barreling you out the door.
as they expose the guns and knives and reloads and everything. Start like, no, I'd still be wearing them because I just get bigger, don't I? I'm gonna like start growing, I guess.
Gun wolf.
Gun wolf. I'm just thinking of Knife Dad. So you watch as Elvis fires a shot off, and it does make purchase with Francis's leg, but it doesn't seem to move him, or he just stands solid as this happens. And you see behind you this this thing happened that only Sandy had seen, which is, even with these guns on him, even with totally loaded out, Elvis's body begins to contort. You all hear the sort of breaking of bones and joints popping and tendons extending. I can't do it. Oh no, I don't have any. Sorry. We all just crack our knuckles real quick. Give me that Foley work. You just hear everything beginning to crack and turn, and you watch as both of these, his arms and limbs begin to extend. His face begins to contort into a snout, a growling. You watch as he becomes a wolf, standing on his back, 2 legs, thin body. You can see sort of the emaciated ribs. He clothes rip. Some of the guns, the things that were holding them on, pop off, fall to the ground. But he is standing there. And this is the first time Claudia and Meg is seeing the transformation, though I believe both of you have seen him as a wolf. You just haven't seen the transformation.
When he first alerts us to the fact that he's changing, Quinn would probably back up and give him some space.
Claudia does not.
So as this is happening, I think, Quinn, you are the one that sees this dark shadow in the corner sort of beginning to overcome your sister. And she's not making any noise, and she's not moving, but she's laying there, and you see as these sort of long tendrils that look like pure darkness begin to creep up higher and higher around your sister's body and envelop her.
Quinn yells, "Chloe!" and goes like running towards her, actually. And
yeah, I need you to roll to run away. Roll with volatile. Okay, that's awesome. So you do get to her. You're gonna get to her, but you choose to run into something worse, cause a big scene, or leave something behind.
Just run into something worse.
Okay. As you go over to Chloe, what are you doing? What's this look like as you're running over to your sister? You're reaching your sister. You're going to get to her.
She would probably just have the knife and be trying to, I don't know, maybe like try to smack this away. Maybe if it's like corporeal, see if she can like make it stop. As
you do this, though, it begins to lash out to your wrist, Quinn, and it's grabbing at you. And it's beginning to sort of pull you in with your sister. Claudia and Sandy, what are you doing?
I want to nail Francis between the eyes with a a wooden bolt.
Yeah, give me that volatile lash out physically.
I would like to use one of my nat 20s to do that.
Okay. Yeah, you yeah, tell me what this looks like. What do you do?
Yeah, I think Claudia, standing beside Elvis, pulls out her crossbow, loads it up, and just without even saying anything, just holds it up and blam right between the eyes on Francis. And then she turns to Elvis and sort of pats him on the back and says, "You hungry, Elvis?"
Yeah, you definitely do that, and it hits straight between the eyes of Francis, and he sort of doubles over and takes a few steps back, and you can tell that you've got, he's trying to pull the arrow out, so he's sort of distracted for a moment. Sandy, what are you doing?
The thing that is reaching out for Quinn right now, is it physical or is it?
It looks physical. It looks like dense shadow.
Yeah.
Quinn wasn't able to get like a cut on it per se, but every time that Quinn touches it, you see this shadow go up in mist around every part she's touching, but it's still a corporeal thing that's grabbing at her and her sister.
So I think Sandy would take her axe and just run towards it and just try and see if it does anything, and just try and slice through the bit before, to try and get it to let go of Quinn.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that one to you because Francis is distracted. He's choking up for this time. So yeah, you get over to it and you are able to make purchase as you swing your axe on this thing, but it's sort of, although it does split, it coalesces back into a form. It's not grabbing at you though. You notice that. It's grabbing straight at Quinn. Quinn, you hear your sister as you're getting pulled to her, just trying to say something. It's like she's using like her last breath to try to get a word out. And you notice immediately that she's had that sort of effect that Francis has in putting people into that comatose state. That's what he's done to her. She can't fight back. But she's trying to say something over and over to you, but she can't exactly get the words out. This thing is crushing down on her chest, on her neck, on her windpipe.
Quinn is going to make a completely wild guess here, with a suggestion someone made last time, and she is going to actually do that very almost ritualistic slice across her palm to get some blood on the knife, and then kind of try to stab into the creature, but not at her sister.
Yeah, you do that. You're going to take one harm. You make a deep cut across your across your palm. But as you slice the knife across the part that's on your sister's, crushing her windpipe, it completely dissipates. The whole thing hasn't dissipated, but just this part, this one tendril begins to curl up and dissipate into smoke. And Chloe lets out this, as she's catching her breath, and she's going, it's in the book, it's a spell, the fairies, they have to help you. Call them.
Okay, and let's see. So offhandedly, can I just call the fairies, or do I have to use the?
You would be gazing into the abyss.
Okay, I will do that then.
Rolling dark.
Oh, actually, can I retract that? Sorry,
Do you have a nat 20?
Yeah, I have a nat 20.
To retract and use it usually costs 2, so you have more than 2. So.
Okay.
Then we can do that. That's fine. So Sandy, you being right here, because Claudia and Elvis are sort of focusing on keeping Francis distracted. You see as these little balls of light begin to coalesce. This time, Quinn, from inside of you, it seems that you begin to glow. You begin to burn bright, and these balls of light begin to circle around you. And they are listening, or you listen and you just hear them going, "Oh no, 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 you're in a lot of trouble. This is what we warned you this would happen. Quinn, this is bad. This is very, very, very bad."
And Quinn says, "Okay, but listen, I need your help. I'm supposed to bind this guy."
"Oh, okay, we can, I don't, you have to send him away. He can't, either bind him to this plane or send him to us. Which one do you want us to do?"
Well, people keep telling me to bind him.
"We'll kill him if you bind him here. You can finally kill him."
I'm gonna do that then.
You watch, Sandy, as Quinn glows brighter and brighter, and you swear you can feel a heat coming off of her, even though you can't feel anything
like,
really.
Mm.
And it begins to make this shadow sort of shy away, and it reels away from the light. Elvis and Claudia asked Elvis if you're hungry.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna eat him. Elvis is just gonna like go and squat on him and just sit on him, sort of like, you come back.
So as you're having this conversation with each other, you see this large, impossibly large shadow begin to come from Francis. It begins to emanate from Francis, and it is almost reaching the light that you now notice that Quinn is casting off, and it's almost like they can't touch.
I'll keep him here. You do something. And I'm just gonna take my claws and like bury them into his shoulders and like bury my feet into his legs and just try and hold him still.
I need you to roll to keep your cool.
Okay.
And tell me what you're afraid of as you're doing this, because Francis is making a grab to you.
You know what I'm most afraid of? As a player or as a character?
As a character.
As a character, I'm most afraid that he is going to hurt my friends.
Okay. Roll cold.
-1 still.
I'll say it's off by now. You've used it. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. If you do this, so on a 7 to 9, the MC tells you how your actions are going to leave you vulnerable. You can choose to back down or go through with it. If you do this, Francis is going to be able to put you in that same state that Chloe was in. He's distracted with you, but you're going to end up this comatose state where you can't react.
Done.
Okay. You feel pure fear, Elvis. This is the most scared you've ever been in your life. And it's like a shadow coming over your body, and you just tense up everywhere. Your now big werewolf body tenses up everywhere as Francis just grabs you. And it's like as his skin makes contact with yours, you tense up, and Claudia, you can see as Elvis sort of falls limp to the ground, just like the werewolves that he had brought back at the party, and just like Chloe was.
When he falls, I want to take my baseball bat and I want to smack Francis in the head where the bolt is and drive it further into his head.
Okay. Yeah, lash out physically. Not volatile. Nice. So they learn something about you and get a string. I decide the harm, or you become your darkest self.
Oh boy. Do I choose or do you choose?
You choose
I
from
forget.
7 to 9. Yeah, you choose.
Okay. I think I'm gonna become my darkest self.
Cool. Read it out for us.
Now, right now, it's the time to rain stones down upon the bullies and the excluders. It's time to wreck their precious stuff, to shove them back so hard that they'll never even dream of messing with you or anyone ever, ever again. You escape your darkest self when you hurt one of those people more than they've ever hurt anyone else, and more than you meant to.
Nice. So does this come out physically some way? Is this something you can people can see that like describe how you become your darkest self, what this looks like?
I don't I don't think this
It
is
doesn't
like
have
any kind of
to.
physical change.
Yeah.
I think Claudia just gets this look in her eye that we haven't seen before, and this set in her jaw. Um, and where Claudia is mostly very closed up a lot of the time, she sort of opens up and her shoulders kind of um, square. But other than that, yeah, I think she looks unchanged, other than change in demeanor.
Yeah, so you hit this crossbow bolt back into his head, and he sort of rears back and looks at you, and there's this glint in his eyes, and he just smirks. He's like, finally someone brought a fight. I'm tired of being killed over and over again by a werewolf. It's boring.
Well, maybe I can make it a little less boring for you. And I'm gonna grab one of Elvis's shotguns. I'm gonna shoot him in the face with it.
Yeah, we'll come right back to that. Hold that thought. Uh, Quinn and Sandy, you're watching as a shadow is rearing away from your light and beginning to get bigger and bigger in Francis's vicinity. And you see as Elvis falls stark to the ground. And your sister is still on the table, sort of gasping for breath, trying to get back to a little bit of semblance of normality. What are you doing, Sandy?
I think Sandy will run over to Elvis, and even though he's just like this big dog, she's trying to slap him around the face to wake him up.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, just keep slapping him around the face.
Quinn, you hear the voice in your head. This time, though, it's a very familiar cacophony of voices. And it just says simply, be who you're supposed to be. Fight the darkness. Balance the scales.
Quinn is going to just, without saying anything, just walk past where Sandy and Elvis are and just like walk straight up to where Francis is, essentially, while Claudia is doing her stuff.
You hear this voice say one more time, face the darkness, face him, bind him here, tell him where he belongs. You hear that musical cacophony of voices. And as you're walking over, and Sandy, you're sort of slapping Elvis to wake him up, you hear the gunshot go off. This loud, it echoes in the room at everyone, I think, except maybe Quinn, reacts a little bit to the ringing in their ears. Even you, Elvis, you can still feel and hear and see things. You hear this loud boom, and Francis gets sort of hit back. He falls back on his ass. It's a gunshot. It's a shotgun. He falls back. He's missing half of his head. You just see the skull shattered, the brain matter, everything there. He's still blinking though. But I think it's you, Sandy, that looks over. And how are you holding Elvis up, or are you letting him just lay on the ground? How?
He's sort of, because I'm assuming he's still really big. Like he's like this
Yo, yeah, he's
massive wolf.
huge. Yeah,
She's sort of stood over him, like one
Gotcha.
leg either side of his chest, and she's just like almost starting to think, do I just smack him against the ground, sort of thing, trying to wake him up.
As you look over to just this like reaction, you see this flicker, and behind Francis, you see a familiar face. And only you see it. It's this girl, looks about your age, young, very plain looking, mousy. And she has this anger in her eyes, Sandy, that you have like never witnessed before. And you see this face, and you see as it contorts into pain, and a loud scream goes through your mind. Just you, Sandy. Just loud, high-pitched, ear-deafening scream. And you remember, just in flashes, all of these ancient texts that you and this girl Lily pored over for hours and hours, doing all the hard work for Francis and Chloe. You remember how you both studied for hours and learned how only the strongest could handle this demon, and how you all four deemed yourself strong enough. You four were the ones who would be able to get the power that you needed. And then when the demon was summoned, you were still alive. Both you and Lily were. But it was Francis who immediately took Chloe's hands when you were asked who was worthy, and said that it was only he and Chloe, and it ultimately signed you and Lily's life over to this demon. And you see Lily's eyes go dark, and her whole image changes to this dark, stormy gray, as if the storm from outside has come in. And you watch as she grabs Francis from behind, her arms across his shoulder, and you hear, and I think even the rest of you hear this, though you don't know where it's coming from, you don't get to hurt people, Francis. Not anymore. And you watch as Francis' skin goes deathly pale. And holding him in place, even though he is trying to fight against it. You watch as he's trying to fight against something that's not there. At least for Claudia, Quinn, and Elvis, you can't see it anyway. You would be able to see it if you were sitting up. But Sandy, you see this ghostly figure holding Francis there.
Yeah, she will see this. First of all, probably wince at the scream that goes through her head, and just probably mouths the word Lily. She drops Elvis, like literally like on the ground, picks up the sawn-off shotgun by his side, walks over, puts it right between his eyes, and just says, "You're not worthy." And then on a nat 20, I want to try and blow his brains out.
Yeah, you do it. I mean, it explodes viscera, brain matter everywhere. He seems dead, but there's still something. Sandy, you know well of everyone. There's still a little flash of life there.
Yeah.
Quinn, what are you doing?
She's gonna stand right over his body and take the knife that still has her blood on it and just shove it right in his chest and say, "Go to hell."
When you do that, it's almost as if a bomb imploding in the room. It's just a low rumble, and all of you feel it as this gush of wind just comes out. It blows all of you. You have to turn your head. It burns your eyes. It's very loud. It seems like you're underwater. Elvis, you feel your body coming back to normal. You're not tense anymore. And you all watch as in front of you, Francis's body, it begins to disintegrate slowly. First, the skin of his body begins to slough off. slowly falling to the ground around him. Then you see as the muscles and the tendons, the veins, it all begins to coalesce as well into one form. And then you watch as his bones begin to turn to dust. And he falls. He's in front of you, just a suit left.
Mr. Wolf, right?
And Quinn, you have left your dark, both of you, both Quinn and Claudia, have left your darkest selves. Elvis is still a wolf, though.
Stand up slowly.
So that's it?
Maybe?
You hear Chloe over in the corner. And she's sort of sliding off the table.
Quinn runs over to kind of help cushion her fall to the floor a little bit.
She looks up at you and she immediately wraps her arms around your neck and she's just saying, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was young and I didn't know any better. And are you okay?
I'm fine. Are you okay?
I think so. Is he gone for good?
He looked pretty dead.
Yeah. We fixed your mistake.
Yeah. It was a big mistake. I owe you a lot. Both of you, all of you. And she looks right at you, Sandy.
She's still stood over him like she's not quite processed the whole thing yet.
I'm sorry, Sandy.
And she keeps staring down at, well, what's left of Francis. As you should be.
Yeah, I am. I don't... Remember, you have to scatter him. You can't be near... None of him can be near each other. He has to be scattered to different parts. That's what the book said.
Something Elvis can act on. He doesn't like to talk too much, puts the tongue too close to the teeth, so he walks over to the body and starts just ripping the head off and the arms off. And...
Oh, he's dust.
Oh.
He's dust in the suit. There's just Francis dust left there.
And I think Sandy will sort of smirk a little bit at that. She'll disappear briefly and then go to the janitor's closet and come back with a dustpan and brush and just gradually sweep him off the floor. She'll fling some of him out of one of the windows. She'll flush some of it down the toilet. And she'll probably take a little bit of a jar with her to put somewhere else.
Whilst you're doing that, I think Elvis is probably gonna...
She stood there with like this dustpan and brush, like, don't sniff that, Elvis.
And now Elvis is possessed by a demon. Demon werewolf.
That's nasty.
While this is going on, I think Claudia's going to try to slip out unnoticed.
Yeah, can't you do a roll for that?
I can roll to run away.
Okay, I didn't know I thought you had it was just if you wanted to be in a scene. Yeah,
no,
I
can also roll to disappear though.
Oh, do you want to do that? Are you trying to not be seen when you're slipping away?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, let's do that. Just for funsies.
Okay.
What do I roll with?
Is it a special move for you? Volatile.
Well, it's rolling to run away, technically.
Gotcha. Was that your... Oh, ooh.
Oh, yeah, didn't do it.
Yeah, Quinn, you notice, as Chloe's attention is on Sandy, you notice Claudia trying to slip out of the lab.
She's going to kind of like give Chloe a reassuring hand squeeze and then kind of wander out into the hallway after Claudia.
Yeah, I don't think Claudia notices you at first. I think she just keeps walking.
Yeah, where are you heading to, Claudia?
I'm headed back to the truck.
Okay. You following her all the way, Quinn?
I think at some point while we're still like in the hallway, Quinn would say, "Claudia."
Yeah. And she kind of turns on her heel and
What are you? Where are you going?
I just I figured you guys have the rest of it handled.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having you here, but if you're uncomfortable with this, I don't mind if you sit it out.
I'm uncomfortable with Chloe.
I I can understand that.
Why don't I meet up with you later?
Okay, that's fine.
Here, oh wait. You know how to drive stick?
I don't really know how to drive. I usually ride my bike everywhere.
Well, she she tosses you the keys. Maybe Sandy can drive or Elvis if he's not a
A
werewolf anymore.
werewolf. Okay.
Or I don't
Um,
know, maybe werewolves can drive. I'm not totally sure. But figure, don't want to leave you guys high and dry.
At this point, both of you hear the loud rumble and revving of a motorcycle that's sort of coming down the driveway. And immediately it pulls up parks right beside you, Claudia and Quinn. And as the person takes their helmet off, it's June. Am I late?
Just by a bit.
yeah, but there were no casualties, so aside from Francis.
Oh, thank fuck. You killed him finally?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
killed
Dead
him,
as a
killed
doornail.
him.
right. Yeah, he was dust.
Hey, I'm proud of you, kid. And she just gives you a smile, Quinn. That's
Thanks,
a lot of
kid.
stress I don't have to worry about anymore. I guess now I don't have to look out for you. Is your sister alive?
She's still in there. I think she and Sandy were talking. So
Well, sorry I was late. I had my own things to deal with. He got a couple of our boys. Had to take care of that.
No worries, we
Oh.
did just fine on our own.
yeah, actually, Elvis wolfed out again. I don't know if we can get him back.
Well, it seems like you all did a good job, and he just has to calm down. Basically, after you do it once, you can sort of control it.
Okay.
And she looks at you, Claudia, specifically, and goes, "You need anything?"
I could use a ride.
Yeah, hop on. And she hands you her helmet.
Claudia's gonna squeeze Quinn's hand. I'll meet up with you later. Just call me or
Okay.
something.
Be safe.
Yeah. When you're on the bike, you watch Quinn as June sort of speeds off past the school with Claudia on the back of the bike. Sandy, Chloe walks closer to you and she's just staring at you, and she said, I did feel horrible. I do feel horrible. You weren't. He just took over, and I was scared of him. It's not an excuse. I know it's not an excuse, but it's the reason.
You were always a bitch. Oh, hey, man, he's a wolf. You were always a bitch.
And Sandy can't help but smile at that a little bit. And she looks at Chloe and is just like, well, it's not like you can take it back, really, is it?
Guess not. You're sort
No.
of dead.
Look after your sister. Don't
Yeah.
offer her up to anything. Don't do the stupid shit with people like Francis. Like, you know you were the smart one in the group, right?
I don't know if I believe that, but
Well, I don't anymore. You were supposed to be.
I really am sorry, Sandy.
You just say sorry to Lily too.
Yeah. I'll go visit her.
I would if I were you. And she turns and walks away.
She just looks over at you, Elvis, and she can tell she's a little uncomfortable with this big wolf standing there. I'm going to go get my sister. And she turns and follows after Sandy.
Elvis just sort of like sits on his haunches and like he's looking around at the room. He's trying to figure out how he's going to collect up all his guns.
If you want to roll a we'll say straight cold roll, we'll see if you can transform back. It won't be for anything, it'll just be a straight cold roll. See if you can calm down.
Yes, I know my character sheet's on one of these tabs. There we go.
Somewhere. Okay. I think it just takes you longer than you expect it to, and it hurts a lot. Like June had told you would get used to it, but you're probably still in that process of getting used to the transformation. It just hurts a lot. But you are able slowly to transform back at your own will now. Your clothes are ripped. You don't really have anything, but you are able to get your guns and get everything together. Where are you heading? Are you leaving the school as well?
Sandy will probably wait outside for him just to see if he actually turns back or not.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably gonna be a few hours.
It's gonna take a hot second for him to transform back. Yeah.
I mean,
this is where she's gonna wake up anyway.
Elvis is kind of. He doesn't really know where to go now. Everyone seems to have like their business, you know. Everyone's got their business, and I just got a bunch of guns, and the time for guns is over. So he'll like gather up all his guns. He'll probably take off the vest, and use that to wrap them all up rather than having them all like, you know, combat attired, and
Yeah.
just start walking back to his shack with this big old bundle of guns.
While you were transforming back, Chloe had made her way outside to you, Quinn, just backing up a little bit. And she sort of like rubs her arms. It's still a little chilly outside. Despite the summer day, she walks up to you, Quinn, and she just says, "I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. It was... Sometimes you just get in over your head, you know?"
And Quinn kind of looks at her for a second and is like, "You know, we figured it out."
Things aren't going to be the same between us, are they?
I don't think anything's going to be the same after this. A lot of things have changed. I learned a lot of things about you, about me, about this town, about the other people that are suddenly my friends, about I think I have a girlfriend. Like, that's interesting.
You have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's something that came out of this.
Yeah. And Quinn just kind of shrugs and is like, yeah, so things might be different, but at least they're all out in the open now and we can figure out where to go from here.
Yeah. Look, I promise I'll be better. Like I said, I don't have to worry about anything else now that Francis is taken care of. I didn't sell you or trade you to anyone else, I promise.
And Quinn just kind of, I don't know if I really mind being this. It felt pretty cool back there to be able to do what I did. So,
I'm proud of you.
thank you.
Yeah, I think she gives you a hug. It's still a little awkward, but you can tell she means it.
Mm.
And yeah, I think she begins to, start the way to take, to get both of you home. Elvis, as you're finally walking out of the lab, Sandy is out in the hallway leaning against a wall, like she's been waiting on you.
Oh, hey, Sandy, you all right?
Yeah. Are you alright carrying all those home, or I was just gonna go and do something?
You want help?
I'm gonna go see Lily's grave. I'm gonna just go and say, I mean, it's done now. I mean, she helped, so.
You know what? She said she liked me, so I'd like to do that too. I'll drop these guns off and I'll meet you there in about an hour.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll meet you there.
Alright. I could use a change of clothes too.
I would. It's not. That might be frowned upon in a graveyard. She sort of just looks him up and down like.
Do you think you're gonna be able to stay here? Lily said she didn't have much power and that just by showing herself she was gonna fade.
I don't know. I feel okay, I guess, but I don't know.
Alright, well I'll meet you there in an hour.
Okay. Then Sandy will just start walking off towards the church.
So we see in the town of Leafside, Claudia on the back of June's motorcycle going off down the road. There's a lack of traffic down this small country road that weaves and turns, but June's hair is blowing in the wind, her wild red curls. And despite the helmet, Claudia still has a lot of long hair and it's still blowing as well. We see Quinn and Chloe and her parents at dinner as they come home right in time for her mom to put roast on the table. We see Elvis and Sandy standing in front of this tombstone in the shape of an angel with the name Lily Anthony carved into the marble as the sun comes out and shines down onto the bouquet of flowers that sits in front of it. And around the four of you, Leafside will continue to move on, much like small towns do. And just like everything else, in a year or two, nobody but the four of you will remember Francis Abrams or the destruction that he brought about to innocent lives, because he was never the real person in charge. Supernatural forces will always pull the strings in Leafside because it draws too many different people to its fold and creates a perfect center of chaos for those who want to thrive in such a setting. And it's up to those who wish to live normally to begin to shift the tides and pull the strings back themselves. And that's where we end.
Yay!
I love all of our little.
Claps.
Can we have some epilogue scenes? I really want to know what happens to these characters.
So that's always a choice with you guys. If you want to do epilogues, it's up to you. I totally wouldn't mind it. If you want to go by, each of you doing an epilogue, that would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'd love to have one with Sandy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe, okay, we meet at the grave. Yeah, okay, Lily's grave. Why don't we just do a Lily's grave?
Okay. And you'll probably find Sandy literally just standing there, staring. Yeah.
You alright? It's been pretty freaky, right? You feeling whole? You ain't feeling like you gonna disappear or fade or nothing?
I don't think so. At least not yet. Maybe it's like the films have got unfinished business.
I don't watch movies.
No, I didn't think you had a TV. To be fair, I don't watch them anymore either.
Even if I did have one, you tried getting signal in the woods?
I have not.
Talking of signal, do you think you're still gonna wake up at the school?
Probably. It seems to be how it works out, I guess. But I don't know how that's going to change if Francis isn't there anymore. I don't know if I was tied to him like that, but it's okay if I do.
Well, if you're not, I mean, are you gonna pretend to be a real person?
I've never thought of that.
I mean, if you need somewhere to hide out, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm gonna carry on with school.
But you were so close.
No, are you kidding me? It's been 10 years. This year I was really gonna try, and instead of passing school, I ended up shooting a demon.
Yeah, but that wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault the scavenger hunt was cancelled. If anything, it was my fault.
I'm thinking, look, last year I went and shot a bunch of turkeys. Well, not turkeys, but I went and shot a bunch of birds and we called them turkeys and we made a big sale around Thanksgiving.
That's fraud, Elvis.
Well, yeah, but we made a lot of money, so I'm thinking maybe if I can set up some sort of regular deal with that guy, and I can just make a living like that, being a goosebuster.
Getting Katie on the asshole. So I tell you what, if you shoot geese, whatever it is you shoot, why not sell it for what it is?
Alright, I suppose I can shoot goose and call it goose. But what I'm thinking is if I stop going to school, I mean, if you need someone to hang out with, we can.
You want to hang out?
Well, I'm just saying you're gonna if you think you can't be like a normal person and you're gonna freak out and because someone's gonna freak out eventually. All right, might not be today, might not be 2 years time, but in 10 years time, someone's gonna start wondering how you keep your youthful complexion.
Yeah, I'm probably.
And I'm a werewolf, so I figure I should probably keep to myself a little bit. Honestly, that werewolf crowd, they're just fucking weird. There's like 20 of them and they couldn't take out that guy.
I kind of took out that June with a stick. I mean, I don't know how tough they're supposed to be.
This is what I mean. I nearly beat her up as a human. What I'm saying is, I don't think we belong with them. Why don't we go and chill out in the woods and shoot geese?
Well, why don't I leave you to be the goosebuster? And I just come along? Maybe you could show me
I tell you
how.
what we can do is, you can make them fly up into the air so I can shoot them. You can go and say boo to the goose, and then it'll fly up.
You want me to chase geese? Okay, yeah, I got nothing better to do. I mean, like I said, I could wake up in that school every morning, but
Don't you get any cool things like teleporting or nothing?
I mean, it can disappear and she just goes, she's gone.
Yeah, I know you can do that, but
Well, there's not much else, and she reappears again.
I suppose I just get all big and muscly, but...
And hairy. And bitey. And when it rains, you smell like wet dog.
Yeah, but so does Claudia.
That's more of a musk. I don't think it's quite like a wet dog smell. Yeah.
What do you think of them two? They're pretty serious. I was like, hey, should I turn my back? And I thought I was gonna have to, you know, go and hide my face.
You mean you didn't? Did you pee?
They only smooched a little.
You know, you shouldn't watch people do that. It's weird.
I mean, I was right there though. I was just like, should I turn around? And they were like, yeah, why don't you turn around? And then I turned around, and they were like, I thought they might have just like gone, well, and be done, but no, they were like, wow, and I was, you know what I mean?
Sandy is laughing, and she's like, I have never heard it be described like that before. I think they'll be fine. I still think Chloe's a bitch.
I think so too. I think we should
But
watch
I
out
like
for Quinn.
Quinn.
Yeah. Hey, we can be like the friendly neighborhood, like, you know.
What? The neighborhood watch?
Protection agency.
Okay. Elvis, and she'll just sort of like walk, like step a little bit closer to him, and be like, you're gonna have to choose if you want to be a detective or a goosebuster, because right now I'm confused.
I don't know. Guess I'll just go on living. But I'm thinking I might as well ditch school. It's not gonna happen. Who knows what'll happen? It'll just be escalation. Next year I'll try to go to school and there'll be some sort of like post-apocalyptic event, like all the dead start rising or something.
Well, I'm really hoping not for that. I don't know how that would affect
Oh shit,
me.
I guess it's already started, hasn't it?
It's fine. It's fine. It's not. It's fine. What if I could help you get through school without cheating? I mean, actually work. Get you to work.
What am I gonna do with it?
What do you want to do with it?
I don't know.
What
I've
do
been
you want
speaking
to
to
do?
careers advisors for years, and they just mostly sigh.
Well, fuck them then. What do you want to do? You want to shoot geese? Go shoot geese. You want to start a detective agency? You start a detective agency. That is so cliche if we're a werewolf and a ghost and we start a detective agency. You realize that, don't you?
I reckon I'll shoot things, but this time I'm not going to keep building up my arsenal. This time, I'll save up my money and I'll buy out the motel so I can give lots of people like my ma a job.
Okay. Do you really want me haunting that? I could work the front desk.
Not all them fellas are too nice. You could haunt them a little bit.
Can I get rid of them?
I don't know. Mom might be angry. Let's just shoot geese, make a lot of money, and figure it out later.
Let's shoot geese. I think we should shoot geese. Well, you can shoot the geese. Speaking of all this, like, shooting birds and stuff, do you want to go get KFC?
Do you know what? All that transforming made me real hungry.
I thought I might have done.
I'd love to go to KFC. Moreover, let's go to Popeyes.
I've never been there.
Neither have I, but I've heard it's awful, but you get real addicted to it.
So KFC. And she holds out her hand to him and goes, "Well, lead the way."
Yeah, I think the two of you go to
Popeyes.
Popeyes or KFC's or wherever you want to go to get chicken.
This is the,
It's a brand new Popeyes in town.
this is too close to real life. Going on.
Did Quinn or Claudia want to tie up anything in an epilogue or just leave it how it was?
I think Quinn's pretty happy with where everything fell.
Yeah, I think I'm good with with leaving it where it was with Claudia. Although I do just want to say, I think as you guys go into the Popeyes, we see Claudia and Quinn in the window.
Aww. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Maybe Sandy goes to go towards them. No. We gotta support them.
We gotta be allies.
Let's go sit over here. They need some time. Trust me, there's a lot of tension.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm really glad I got to do this game with you four. It's
Me
really
too.
good. That's the end of Monster Hearts Hidden Masters.
Thank you for running it for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott, for letting me run Monster Hearts on your channel, even though you opened up a document that said sex moves.
Yeah, that was an interesting document. Like, it was like literally like the first thing I saw, I think, was because like the first thing you sent me was a character sheet, and like at the top of the character sheet, like sex moves on the top right. So I'm like, well, what's this game all about,
What is she
Katie?
wanting to run?
Okay, and I asked you, what do you want me to? What's this all about? And you're like, oh well, I can send you a character sheet and tell you about the rules. You sent me the character sheet. I opened it up. The first thing I see is sex moves. I'm like, Katie.
Katie, let's talk about this.
There's a few words I need to familiarize you with. They are terms of service.
Well, it was between this game and Masks, and I would have easily run Masks, no problem. But you guys didn't even use your sex moves, so
Sure.
remember, this isn't off the table. This isn't a game run by Dingo.
Teehee. Yeah.
No, we've still got some time left. I don't know if you guys wanted to. Yeah, that's probably what Scrat said. Alice, Katie wants to run porn on my channel.
I was literally gone for like 3 minutes.
We still got some time left if anyone wants. I guess if chat has any questions for the players or for me, or you guys have any questions, anything like that. Anything. I mean, it's up to you, Scrat. Your channel.
Yeah, we can do some questions. We'll give chat a bit of time. I have questions, but they're best left unanswered.
It's usually how Monster Hearts is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie, how are you so good at running games?
I'm not.
Funny you should mention that. Katie's going to be running one of our viewer games next season. It will be announced next week, but here's a little sneak preview for you all. We'll be releasing the poster next week. Katie, I believe I will... Oh, actually, I need to talk to you about that. So we'll have a discussion. But, yeah, I believe it's going to be 5e.
D&D 5e, level 3.
Pre-gen
11
characters?
pre-generated characters that I made myself. So there's a lot of diversity, but it's every class, so you will have a pick of class. And the fun part is that you get to, each player each week, whichever character they play, is going to be able to shape what this character becomes. You're going to be adding facts to their lives each time that whoever plays them. So you get to mold who this character becomes. And I think it's also going to be a fun experiment to see which class is the most popular.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah. There'll be 2 regular cast members as well, so I think what we'll do is we'll let the new players choose first, and then we'll take whatever's left. But...
Yeah.
A shotgun barbarian or assassin.
You get into you have to just send a message to Scrat on Twitter.
Yep.
Tell him you want to play in, I guess, my specific game. If you want to play in that one, tell him you want to play in Katie's game, I guess.
Do that, yeah. I haven't started taking any bookings for January yet. I'm still organising Christmas and group chats for the regular games next season, but I don't have nearly enough unanswered messages in my inbox. I've only got 14 at the minute, so send me messages, y'all. Tell me that. You see, I used the y'all. Progression.
Hang out with me enough. Play Elvis enough.
That has been my favourite part of this whole season, by the way, is that when I used my southern voices, sometimes when I touched on a certain one, Katie would just start drifting too, which was just the best.
The biggest thing was I made June southern also, so it just made it got worse if I had to play June and then listen to Elvis, and then it kept going down a hill.
Yeah. Message Scrap relentlessly, got it. That is pretty much Katie's method. That is pretty much Katie's method of getting games. Just shout at me.
I just yell.
What was it you said last time? I think it was like a Donathan Fry game last season. You were like, if you don't get me all caps, if I'm not in this game, we're not friends anymore, or something like that.
That's exactly what I did. I found out Don was running Call of Cthulhu, and I said, Scrap, we won't be friends anymore.
So that's how you get games. Just come and threaten me.
Just threaten friendship.
Yeah, and I'll buckle.
I just really wanted to play Space Cthulhu, and it turned out to be great.
All right. Well, not many questions coming in, so I think we might as well wrap this up. This is in a good place. Let's go round. Say hello to everyone. Katie, do you want to lead that again?
Yeah, we can just start with the order we went in when we came in. Dingo, you want to go first?
Sure, I suppose I can. I'm Dingo. It's been a pleasure to play this game. You can find me on Twitter at Where's My Dingus. That's the best place to find out what it is that I'm doing. For the rest of this week, what am I doing? For the rest of this week, tomorrow, I will be back on Off the Table playing Monster of the Week with Katie running our season finale. And Saturday, usually Saturdays I'm on Pro Restarters channel playing Dragon Knights, but we're taking a little holiday break. We'll be back on the 29th, I believe. Yep, we'll be back on the 29th with Dragon Knights. And Monday we might be doing Tales from Thersha. I'm not sure. We just wrapped up Burning Wheel. Lots of stuff is wrapping up.
Off the Table is even more messy than it usually is.
Next month, January, I'm going to be running Ryutama on Pro Restarters channel. That's going to be every other Wednesday, starting on the 23rd. So stick around for that. I mean, that's it.
Anime goodness. Yay.
And that's we've been playing Ryutama. Our next game's Ryutama at a time 10 p.m. EST. That's going to be our finale of that as well. I imagine you probably play it a little bit differently because we turned it into some sort of murder hober bullshit, which is a lot of fun. But
I bet Jess loves that.
Apparently, it's not in line with how Ryutama is supposed to be run, but she does love it. Yeah, it's been cool.
Meg, what about you?
Hi, I'm Meg. You can find me on Twitter at PishkinBon, and also over on my D&D blog, elfnodes.com. And this is my only stream, but I am returning next season. I don't know what game I'm going to be in yet, but I should be coming back.
Alice.
Yeah, I'm Alice. I'm White Rabbit Pick, which is where you can find me on Twitter when I'm not doing this. I'm also a photographer. But I've loved this game. This has been a real different game for me, a real experience. Able to get off my hand. But I've had a really good time with all of you guys, and I will be running 3 campaigns next season, which will be announced next week. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, Alice is running 3 and appearing in another 3, and also doing some over on Grimjack's channel as well. So yeah.
I'm Katie. You can find me on Twitter at KatieFace, or you can find me through the week playing on Off the Table. That's usually where I am. I play D&D there, Burning Wheel, Urban Shadows. A lot of like Dingo said, a lot of finales are coming up on Off the Table. You can find me on Tuesdays on the Greyhawk channel playing D&D with Eric Vulgaris, who did Mouse Guard here. And then tomorrow is the finale of Monster of the Week at 10 Central Standard Time, so 8 Pacific, on Off the Table. I can do another finale tomorrow. And then on my channel, at twitch.tv/katieface, starting a Scum and Villainy short-term campaign at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, that's right. So that'll be fun. Come hang out. It's session 0. We'll be building our crew and our characters. I'm very excited for that. And like Scrat said, next year I'll be running viewer game here. That's really all that's coming up for next year. I make plans as they come, so I don't really know what I'll be doing. I will be in the 15th. I'll be on WebDM doing charity game with Grant Ellis, and then the 17th, I believe, on Off the Table, we will be playing a game of Bluebeard's Bride, first in the 3-part series that I'll be in. Kiana is going to be running them. She's big friend of the channel, Kiana. But it's going to be really good if you like horror, but with a sense of a feminine horror. It's so good. I love Bluebeard's Bride, and I highly suggest everyone play it. I'd love to run it one time on the Academy. Scrat, hint, hint. Yeah, that's me. Just follow me on Twitter. I post what I'm doing. And before I hand it over to you, thank the 4 of you so much for being so open and loving this game and giving it your all. You guys were great. I enjoyed every minute of it. Running games stresses me out anyway, so I was stressed, but you guys made it so good. So it was the best kind of stress. So yeah, over to you, Scrap.
Thank you. Well, guys, you know about me. Like I said, we'll be back in a couple of hours with Ryutama. It looks like Greg's starting up a new game, so we're going to head over there. But before I do, here are my social links. Go and be part of all of them. Here's my Patreon. It's one of the best ways to support us. We are full-time. Introducing new players nearly every day. Definitely pretty much every day next season. There's the Patreon. You can support us from as little as $1. We also have some merch that you can buy if you want to get the Academy logo in your life. What else have we got? We've got sponsors in Bird and the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press, who did the last game that we played, the Dark Matter expansion in 5e. Yeah, we're gonna head over to Grimjack 21502.
Starting a Dungeon of the Mad Mage campaign, which one of our friends of the channel, Lauren, Off the Table, she is in.
Hey.
So very good.
Lauren from Eberron, if you guys watch Eberron.
No, not that Lauren. Other Lauren.
Oh right. Oh, other Lauren. Yeah.
Real nice girl. That Lauren.
Romulus? No.
No.
Is that another
No.
Lauren? God damn it.
That's Rachel.
That's Rachel? Oh, I don't know.
There's so many people.
But I do know that I ain't afraid of no goose.
We ain't afraid of no goose.
Teehee. Yeah, guys, so one more game this week, Ryutama. Then on Sunday, we're going to do one last stream, one last big push to try and meet our costs for the month before the end of the month. Then we're going on holiday for a week. So, and then we have 12 days of Christmas with 40 games. 41 if you include the off-the-table combination, which I'll be taking part in. Teehee. Yeah, let's head over. Thank you very much, everyone. Keep on evoking emotions. We'll see you later on. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.